The reflexes in this video are Moro, STNR, ATNR, Babinski, and plantar grasp. The Moro reflexes emerges from birth, STNR emerges from birth, ATNR emerges from birth, Babinski, and so does the plantar grasp. The Moro reflex integrates around 4 to 6 months, STNR integrates around 4 to 6 months, ATNR integrates around 4 to 6 months, Babinski integrates around 1 to 2 years, and the plantar integrates around 4 to 9 months. These reflexes can persist, however, there are complications if they do persist, atypical development, or it indicates further issues. If Moro is retained, it can interfere with head and neck control, sitting balance, and protective reactions. If STNR is retained, the child can present with difficulty performing reciprocal calling. If ATNR is retained, it will interfere with the child's ability to reach and grasp, performing functional activities with bilateral upper extremities and rolling. If Babinski is retained, it results in decreased gross motor coordination, fine motor coordination, and stability. If the plantar grasp reflex is retained, it can interfere with donning shoes, standing, and gait patterns. If the Moro reflex is not integrated, it can result in poor balance, poor coordination, and motion sickness. If STNR or ATNR are not integrated, it can result in difficulty with auditory processing for the child, difficulty concentrating, and difficulties with coordination. If the Babinski reflex does not integrate, the child can have decreased gross and fine motor coordination, balance, and stability issues. If the plantar grasp does not integrate, this can be a predictor of spastic CP, as diminished plantar grasp indicates spasticity in a child. The Moro reflex is tested by holding the child in the air in supine and dropping the head into extension of 30 degrees. STNR is tested by flexing extending the child's neck when on all fours. ATNR is tested with a child in supine and arms and legs extended and head in mid position. The head is then turned to one side. Babinski is tested by running the finger up the lateral side of the child's foot from the heel to the toes and across the pad to the base of the toes. The plantar grasp reflex is tested by applying firm pressure to the bottom of the child's foot. All of these reflexes are vital for the child's development. The Moro helps facilitate breathing and self-regulation. The STNR assists the child in crawling. ATNR helps develop midline awareness and hand dominance. Babinski reflex is important for the corticospinal tract, and the plantar grasp serves as preparation for the child to be able to walk. The Moro reflex helps the child be able to learn and retain information, playing a vital role in the child's development in school, home, and various environments. STNR is related to the child's development because it is the precursor to crawling, which allows the infant to participate in functional mobility tasks, getting from one place to the next independently. ATNR helps to develop muscle tone, which is important for the child to be able to coordinate and facilitate movements to perform a functional task. Babinski reflex is vital to the child's development because it tests for deficits in the CST, which can then tell medical professionals if there are any underlying deficits. Lastly, the plantar grasp reflex is related to the child's development because it is a precursor to walking as it prepares the foot for stimulus. So the activity that I chose is to target the ATNR reflex, and the activity would be a scavenger hunt. So I would have the child turn their head side to side, search for objects, and reach for them, and I would have the child turn and reach for objects to facilitate head rotation and arm flexion of the same side.